If you were watching Morning Live a little bit earlier, we were chatting to Buti Manamela, and he's the Young Communist League's leader here in South Africa. Well, not leader, he's the National Secretary of the Young Communist League. And they're going to be having a rally this coming Sunday. It'll be held in Sharpeville starting at 9 o'clock if you'd like to be there to participate. But let's continue to chat to Buti and talk about some of the challenges that are facing the youth here in South Africa and other issues as well. Buti, thanks for staying with us. It's great to have you.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, let's talk about the youth here in South Africa, because, you know, life is tough, and we see that the youth seem to bear the brunt of it all, you know, when it comes to education, when it comes to not being able to find jobs. Unemployment is so high. You know, what are you doing to try and help and assist them?
Look, I mean, our major campaigns, the one is making education fashionable. It means we want to look at schools which are not working. We want to look at you know, whether parents are involved in the education of their children, teachers are in school on time, learners are not doing drugs, you know, the infrastructure upkeep, textbooks are on time. Those type of things are the type of things which we think we need to be looking into. And we think we've seen a lot of improvements. Of course, the main challenge of, you know, post-schooling youth is getting access to bursaries. And we think a lot has been done. You know, I mean, we've engaged with the Minister of Higher Education together with SASCO, ANC Youth League and everybody else. And we think that, you know, government has done more, but a lot more needs to be done so that we don't have to see what was happening in UJ and in all the other, you know, institutions. Jobs, jobs, jobs. Young people is what I think that's the major frustration that young people are faced with. We, in our last Jobs for Youth Summit, where we involved more than, you know, 50, 60 youth formations, including your DA, your Freedom Front, all the youth organizations convened under the Jobs for Youth Coalition. I've agreed that we need to prioritize the training of young people as, you know, bricklayers, welders, plumbers, all of those, you know, mechanics, you know, so that they are able to take advantage not only of government's infrastructure, you know, investment, but also, you know, we need to see young people on the, you know, corner shop, welding up gates, as we see in the township. Those are some of the skills and interventions that we think through FET colleges, you know, opportunities need to be opened.
Yeah, there's always a big, we keep talking about FET colleges, and we keep trying to convince the youth that that is the way to go, as opposed to bashing down universities' doors and wanting to get in there, and everybody thinking that that's the only way you're going to get ahead. But to have a skill and to be able to use that skill here in South Africa to better your community, to better your country, I mean, that, I imagine, is the message that needs to be passed through to the youth, and a lot louder, because they don't seem to be hearing it.
Yeah. Look, I mean, I studied in an FET college. 10, 15 years ago, you know, people would say, look, is it worth it? Should I be going into an FET college and all of that? But I must tell you now that the conditions are completely different. You know, the quality of, you know, education in those institutions, but also the dedicated projects, which, I mean, programs, which means when you come out, you're ready for the market. You don't have to go to some form of additional training and all of that. You're ready to, you know, fix up cars, build up houses, you know, and all sorts of other trades that, you know, you may want to do. Yes, we need lawyers, doctors, we need all of those kind of high-end skilled, I mean, skills. But what kind of a society will we be when we've got, you know, 100,000 lawyers, 1 million doctors, and all of that, but yet we cannot be able to fix, I mean, we cannot be able to do our own plumbing or get someone in the neighborhood to do our own plumbing. So those are the things that we need to be thinking about.
Yeah, indeed. Let's talk about you. Let's talk about your career going forward. I mean, it's a very, very important year this year. We're talking about the elections, 20 years of democracy here in South Africa. Now, you've been re-elected to the position of National Secretary for a third term. This happened in December. A lot of analysts are saying that this, you know, well, not such a great move. You know, where does democracy play a role in this? And shouldn't there be sort of democratic politics in action? Now, what's your response to the critics?
Look, I mean, there is a democratic process. We'll be having our Congress at the end of the year, you know, and that would be my last year or this is actually my last year as National Secretary of the Young Communist League. I think more because, you know, you've got a lot of energy. You've got a lot of, you know, young ones, 14 to 25, who, you know, I think and hope that they will be able to take forward, you know, the legacy of a Young Communist League. And I mean, when I became National Secretary 10 years ago, at the age of 24, I had never imagined that we would be here, where we are today. You know, and I strongly believe that it is time that we allow a much younger crop of leaders to take over the reins in the Young Communist League.
Yes, 24, sort of what makes you, about 27, 28 now?
34.
34! You think, okay, my maths is out the way.
24 plus 10, yeah.
24 plus 10. So
Yeah.
but I mean, your future is looking good because, you know, we talk about lists and that top 30 list of the ANC. Your name is there. You know, it's a big move for you.
Look, I'm extremely humbled by the structures of the ANC having nominated me to go back to Parliament. You know, I think that it's one of those things where we are obviously called upon to continue serving, you know, our people, our constituencies, and all of that. And I hope that we'll continue to do that.
All right, Buti, thanks for talking to
Thank
us.
you so much.
But really, I think the main story here, Young Communist League celebrating 10 years since its relaunch in 2003, and this is going to be happening in Sharpeville this coming Sunday, 9 o'clock. If you're there, please do get down. Thanks for joining us, Buti Manamela, who is the General Secretary, the National Secretary of the Young Communist League. All right, time for a traffic update, and I know that the roads have not been so good this morning.